Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another rousing edition of the Ronly Conley Twitch stream. I'm Justin. This is Ronly Conley. That's R only C only. Got it? Good. I'm glad you're here with me today. We got a very high residential zone demand here in New Chirp City, which we've been building from scratch. Last time we added in these varsity sports arenas, and we have a bustling little neighborhood around it now. One thing we got to work on is fixing a major bus line that is way too long. I'm talking about this pink monstrosity here that's glowing. I mean, what's going on there? That's ridiculous. I mean, a lot of good coverage, but efficiency is not working there. So we're going to probably divide this bus line on this main road and then resegment into another one. But the main thing is creating a new neighborhood, which is going to go right in here, this blank space. We got a lot of empty space there that we can fill out. We can also keep going in the Train Central Varsity Sports area, and we got more land, more real estate available, of course. But I think we'll tie in this area pretty nicely, get some low-density housing, keep the city's feel the same. So without further ado, let's get to it. Since last time we not really spoke, but you get the point. They had a bunch of content creator DLC packs go on sale in the PlayStation Store for half price, so I bought a couple that I've been looking out for a while, and got this historical train station that's part of the, the Seaports, or Seaside Resort pack. It's got some historical type buildings, including a library, a police station, and all of that. I've been talking about putting a train in this part of town, extending from the blue there, the multimodal center. So we will do that. And got one main road there, but I think we may just make another big road that connects to this avenue, hook it around, so that because I don't want to disrupt all this, all this road just to widen it. At this time, and there could stand to be a direct route that goes there. I mean, the tram situation leaves something to be desired on these big, these little roundabouts, rather. So let's do this. That's a tram line. We could keep the tram going there, but we'll save that for now. And this doesn't really help make it more direct, but I always like the curvy kind of, I don't know what you call that, spinning triangle look. I mean, with keeping the integrity of the neighborhoods intact is a hard thing to do, because otherwise I would have just gone straight here. And I guess you still could. It's kind of an ugly corner there. Just going to redo that. Still pretty ugly, but that's okay. So am I. And we could demolish the rocks and go straight there. Or connect. We'll do that since there's a school right there. And we'll keep this stoplight from happening. I'm actually going to change the stop configuration now. It'll mess up the traffic a touch, but not too dramatically that we can't salvage it. And if you've watched really any of these, you'll know that I tend to use the single spots for housing because we get a little bit of extra density. It's not foolproof, but it feels like we're being strategic with our planning. Might as well be the name of the game. Alright, so we got that road, and here's the train station. It's hard to put assets on the inside of a curve. I don't like it. I wish I could do more with that, but what are you gonna do? I'm tempted to push it up in a little bit, give it a little driveway. It'll be noisy, but it'll save the train line, the rail from being too in the way. Or if we connect that road, if that'll look too crazy. Yeah, that's not gonna work. I mean, we could just make another road back there. Long term, I don't expect to put another train, like build more rail to cut through here. Could do a tunnel, perhaps. I think we can do this better. I kind of want to envelop the train station. So that answers my question here. We're just going to place the train station. And look, isn't it cute? It's like these old towns on the suburban towns on the main line. So we'll go ahead and run the train line. Now we're trying to connect to this spot. We could use this high-speed viaduct, and we well might, because we've got to cross the tram line here. That part might have to just disappear. But since we're going in more of a residential zone, just gonna I gotta get these automatic angles off. I've been playing too much of the remastered, which changes those control layouts. There's the sweet spot. I like the lightness of the viaduct, the way it looks from above, more than the dark rail, but I think this fits the neighborhood that we're trying to create a little more. What kind of craziness is that? Just gonna adjust that curve a little bit. Oh, I didn't mean to kill that. Okay, well I thought that would change the that zone from being such a weird U shape, but did not help, so there you go. Now, if we do want to keep that kind of curve, we've got to raise the rail up the whole way. Shifts everything around. It's one of the most annoying parts of this game. But it's holding. Sometimes it holds when it shifts. Give it a curve. Come on. Pretty ugly. Pretty ugly. Okay. Ideally, you want to find the point where your road would naturally intersect and bend it just like that. Still pretty ugly. It kind of looks like the golden, not the Golden Arch, the St. Louis Arch. I don't know what's the proper term. Almost makes me want to build the arch there. Here, this business park. If we had put this there, the shadow would have gone nicely. And alas, we cannot put it inside the curve. Can get close though. But since we're trying to make this a residential zone, it doesn't really work, but we'll keep that design in mind. How's our zone looking? It's all kind of small, but that's fine. Can make that a little commercial hub. I may connect a road there, or there at least. Pretty arbitrary choice, but one that works, I believe. Question is, can we make this go over enough? And if in fact we can't, we'll just connect it and see if it causes a traffic problem. It probably won't, since we're not trying to make it a major destination. But since the cars will have to stop when the trains come through, if it does prove problematic, that'll give us an opportunity to readjust our little curve, which will be just fine. Now the last step for the train is to run the line, which will go, I'd rather it be on a different side, but maybe there's not really a, oh, there's two lines going, that's right. I don't remember which is which. Purple stops, the green does not stop. Green's more of an express line, and it doesn't really matter at this point. It won't cause too much disruption. There we did it. We finally got a train line that goes, you can go from the Varsity Sports Arena all the way around with a couple transfers, and we're getting somewhere. The only downside of the way that we've done this road is that it's very clearly, it doesn't really fit with the rest of the neighborhood yet, but that's our challenge, is to make it look natural. Could just put a pedestrian path, and in fact I might at least do that. We'll go to our wide sidewalks. For some reason we did that. We'll keep that going. You gotta check on these wide avenues, even though they're single lanes. You're gonna get stoplights placed. We don't need that yet. We'd also thrown around the idea of putting a metro station here in between, not that one, right on that curve to be the midpoint. I think that that's not a bad move with this rail line. We could even put a metro stop here by the train station, kind of bend out that a little more where that curve is kind of funky, and give another option. But it does seem kind of close, but that's more of like a local line anyway, so I think we could get away with it. Have another little, like a baby transit center. But now that I look at it, this, to have one here would be even worse in terms of how close the spots are. I mean, we could just move this station from being central to the outskirts, but that kind of defeats the purpose. If we add the stop here, the justification is that it helps people get to the train station better. I wish there was a historic looking subway station, but no dice on that. It does seem a little too close to go there, but down here would be a funkier turnaround than is already there. I don't love this, but it'll be fine. We'll get away with it. We have our justifications, and as long as we can have our justifications, then our Sims will have no choice but to submit to our will. The mass transit overlords have spoken. And the final thing we gotta do is... Daggum it. Come on! There we go. Boop boop. Still, that it kind of blends with the housing behind it. Sure, they're not pleased. But it saves them a couple blocks of a hike, and I don't know if there's a bus line. There is a bus line. It's kind of sporadic. Honestly, I don't know why I don't have a bus stop that's more directly there, but rather than making people go around the block, but whatever. I may not have optimized all the bus lines to the metro stop, but that's not that bad. I mean, it's a pretty central bus stop at least. Got one not too far. I can just walk. We got a pedestrian path. That seems, it checks out. So we're gonna come back to land, to the surface. I'm trying not to go too crazy with the messing up the zonage, but there's not a lot of options. If we can manage this, it'll be great. Come on. Look at that. It's beautiful. Or at least good enough. And we definitely want one that comes right here. Whether we can connect it to the train or not, seems like it's a no. That's a major flaw in design, but they didn't ask me for this, so Because with some train stations, you can sneak up the back side, like we did with this pedestrian area. Here they can, where it touches, they can cross pretty easily. But I digress. Here we go. We'll focus on this front side at least. Maybe here. There we go. See, look at the stairs there. It'll also, the Sims will maybe cross right there, which is not, the most ideal, but we've got our first customer, and they just crossed the way there. Are they going to take the subway? Let's find out. Let's walk with them, shall we? Oh, slow down. We're an old man. And they're going to the subway. I thought I would catch them first and see where they were headed. But I think with them going on the subway, it would have just shown that they were walking to the subway station. But good to know that it works. And we've got another one. Where are they going? They're going, of course, to the train station, to the dog park. We don't know where the dog park is, but I think they're going to miss the train. Where's this person going? We can't focus on them. They're too small. All right, so good job. We built the train. Now let's build some housing. On a main road like this, I might normally make it into commercial zone, but since our demand is much higher for residential, we'll zone a couple commercial zones and really focus this train area because the people are not going to like the noise of the train. They don't want to live on top of the train station. We're already pushing it with this metro stop. But we'll get away with a couple of housing units, but probably focus on just having a high density since there's so many funky zone angles. And in all likelihood, we will change the way that road goes, which will ruin everything eventually, but not right now. Should probably put another road connection between there, fill that space out more. Shoot. I kind of want to put something here across from the train station. I think that's logical. Maybe we mirror the arch there and put something simple. I mean, putting the business park, the actual arch would be nice, but it seems like overkill for low density, primarily residential neighborhood. Just going to run these water lines now before I forget. It's very common thing for me to forget to do. I try to do it when I'm doing the road, so there you have that. Our landfills are finally empty, so we're gonna take the time now to demolish them, and we'll check on our trash capacity. Should be fine. We are processing plenty, so we don't need to build more yet. I want to say it was part 9. When we returned to New Chirp City, we had the Korea DLC pack, and that gave us this nice, I call it the wave incinerator. It looks like the ocean to me. So that helped us get rid of some of the landfills, and we'll go ahead and empty this. Got a lot of recycling centers. The wave plants do twice the power of the recycling centers, and the same as the regular incinerating plants, which we still have a bunch over here. So they're 1 for 1 on the polluting plants, and 2 for 1 on the recycling centers. We don't really have a lot of industrial demand, so for now, rather than waste the space, we'll go ahead and just zone that to match, knowing that in the future we probably will. Find something to put there. I don't know what it'll be. I'm tempted to draw a new road connection here where, but that would mess up that curve, but where the bridge meets the ground, but ideally it would go kind of right down the middle here. Maybe pop it right in this weird curve. I don't know about that. But I think that would at least blend pretty well. Fill out that space a little more, so we're just going to put a pin in that. Pausing it, I mean. Sure, why not? Sure, why not? Generally, if you've watched any of these, you know that I am usually more thought out with my road designs, but in this case it's pretty minor. We could put a park down, we could make it a pedestrian area like we did over at the other train center, but we'll hold off. We'll hold off for now and continue our zoning for residential. Got that all out of whack now. That's okay. It's okay to be a little funky. That house will probably get destroyed, which is a shame because I like it. But we'll see if we keep it kind of like that, whether it holds up. Who's to say? The game is a mystery sometimes in that regard. And we'll put a commercial zone there. Right on the intersection, it just feels like a natural point for a little baby convenience store, bodega sort of situation. I'm still unsure about whether I want these commercial districts right around there, but just because of the noise pollution, and it doesn't really blend well. It's already noisy enough, though. But the commercial buildings do a lot of noise. So there's 2 schools of thought there. You either want to keep all of your noise generating buildings clustered together, like I have kind of done in this game, or you spread it more evenly throughout the city, because then it's more walkable and you don't have a lot of people having to travel a long distance to get their basic necessities. I do think there needs to be some leisure. Let's check out our leisure. We don't really have anything over this way, so maybe a park would have been ideal. We've got some options here. We've got some newer options thanks to those DLC packs I was telling you about. Some pretty ones too. It was just a little too long. I don't really want to mess up that, but if I could get just between there, I really like it. Tiny park indeed. That right there. It's a little pond. Cute. Pond park is huge compared to those, but maybe that's what we'll put there. A bigger pond. And that small park does a good bit of 50 entertainment. Nothing to sneeze at, not a ton, but enough to give some life. Maybe a unique building or something on this main avenue intersection. Got these. This is a Seaside Resort DLC pack here, so you got a lot of hotel options, some decent entertainment, and you know, they're really remind me of like Louisiana or Charleston, South Carolina. Big ocean pier. That's kind of neat. If we could soon be on the waterfront, or maybe over here at our lakefront district, would be a great place for one of those. And the other things, we've got skyscrapers to choose from, of course, but that's not what we're needing there. Maybe the temple would be a good addition here. I like it. And we've still got room for another metro stop if we so choose down the line. It's not liking the curve of that road, but we could always go on this side. It's weird that it doesn't like that curve. This game sometimes does strange things. Alright, so we filled out that space more. We can check that off the list. And now we'll finish zoning. Make sure I took the stoplight off. I did. Great. And now we can look at our zone. Demand is much lower for residential. The demand for commercial has gone up. But that's more because we've got open spots. The unconstructed zones make the demand meter go down, but once everything's constructed, then the meter goes right back up. So there's the little catch-22 kind of deal. I may actually move this to where it's right beside this park, since there is one space. We can have a commercial zone there. And I believe I shall. Okay, go underneath. Destroy you, destroy you. Move on over and reconfigure. Why is it showing me the surface? I don't want the surface. And our lines should automatically recover. Look at that. Well, hopefully they do. They should. There's no reason for them not to. Another thing I had thought about was putting a park in the middle here of this, like having a courtyard or just a green space, but I like the trees there. And having a park would help with the leisure. I wish you could hide the district name so you could see a little better. Well, we've done good work so far with making this new neighborhood and responding to the demands of our citizens. And I want to thank you for joining me and for watching. Be sure to hit the follow button if you're on Twitch. Subscribe if you're watching this later on YouTube. And if you want to watch all of New Chirp City from the ground up, you can find it on the Ronly Conley YouTube channel at Ronly Conley. That's at R only C only. Got it? Good. You can also find me on Instagram and visit my website, ronlyconley.com, for even more exciting stuff about me and the life and the work that I do. There's that. I had also thought about putting a liberal arts campus on this side of town. We've still got a decent amount of room over here. And we've got enough capacity, though. We don't have a lot of university students, so that's one hang-up I have there. But we have gotten all of... No, we haven't gotten all of the trade school buildings. The biggest thing you do to increase that, your university students, is build more housing, so we can look at our education levels and see there's... I mean, pretty much everybody has gone through the system. 10% of people are uneducated, and that's probably in our brand new neighborhood. We don't have... We've got that one elementary school there, but we really don't have a lot of school options. I'm trying to keep the education level pretty balanced for industry purposes. As you can see, the zone demand for residential has peaked again, but there's not enough workers. In fact, the trouble is that there's no regular educated workers. They can be too educated. Just doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but there are policies you can use to help with that for the higher education. I forget what it's called, though. Industry 4.0. Which, as our education peaks, we will consider. I think a liberal arts campus over here wouldn't be too bad in terms of matching that corner of the city. 2 colleges, 2 corners, but maybe we'll save that until we get a new area so we can be in this space. That'll be a good use of there. There's also a train line there. So could be a great opportunity for another international train station. Currently, this is our only international train station And you can see a lot of people coming through there. Let's check on how much, in fact, 230 people allegedly last week. But they're all going to the basketball game. They may be going to, nope, just the basketball game. They're just walking in the medians and just crossing willy-nilly. Okay, well, you would think the hedges would be in their way. Just walking in the street now. What the heck? Beyond all reason. 545 now. Whew. Pretty good chunk of train travelers. I'm filling all these in, but I really want to put more high density zones there. Just on the single spots, keep it pretty even. Some variation in height. I meant to check over here. Yeah, this is doing some weird stuff, so we're just going to demolish that. I don't have a problem with tiny homes, but they don't match. They don't blend. Why, you don't have customers? No educated workers. Meanwhile, the industry's got the opposite problem. Will it ever end, these never-ending complaints? Okay, so we should probably take the time now to do the bus line I was talking about. We'll do some pretty simple stuff here with keeping it kind of in the middle of this main part of the neighborhood. Put it there so it's a little bit further away. So now they're in walking distance of that other subway station if they prefer, and the Korean temple. Put the next stop right at that commercial zone. I was thinking about going around this loop for the metro stop, but there's enough pedestrian paths they can walk that little bit. Still pretty light use of this train station, but it'll get there, I'm sure. I wish we could zone in front of it. Or at least put decorations down, but I don't think we can. Nope. Just on the edge. So, well, while we're here, I'm a sucker for these purple trees. What happened there? Maybe a fire or something? Apparently no room for trees anywhere in there. It's kind of just a blind search. I guess we could. Trees help with noise pollution, so this isn't just for vanity's sake. That would be a nice spot for a pedestrian path, I bet. I think I've overdone it. It doesn't quite fit in there. Maybe it's worth just doing anyway. Ah, come on. I wish you could turn off the snap. Because I really don't want it to be there, but... that cemetery's full, so I'm going to... First, let's check our cemetery usage. We've got plenty of crematorium space, so I'm just going to empty it so it's not a full one. I'm going to do the same on all of these until we hit a death wave. We won't think about the fact that we're just moving all these casketed, buried bodies into crematoriums. Just not going to talk about that. It's just like a landfill. Could probably go a little harder in making some neighborhoods. Bingo. Strange looking still, but less so than it used to be. And I'm just going to paint it all. Okay. What I like about the pond park is that there's a lot of room for pedestrian paths that connect. We can keep the green space for now. And it fits, right? This big loop matches the two roundabouts up there, that kind of curvy section in the middle. A lot of circles hidden within New Chirp City. What does it mean? What does it mean? Nobody knows. I suppose I should just wanted to start that road like it's a cul-de-sac, but we know it's not really. Okay, now we'll, I thought I had it on curved. But the biggest problem that I have with this pond is that it doesn't quite have enough spots to click into. Like you get over here and there's just none. I don't really get that. Don't know why they thought that'd be a great way to design this, but once again, they did not ask me. And I thought I'd go a different direction, but I don't like that it deletes those paths in one big swoop. A little bit more of a curve. There we go. Okay. Let's plant some trees. Go large, up the strength all the way. Let's go medium instead. There we go. And we'll put some of these purple ones too. Pretty. We need more greens too. I like the cottonwoods a lot. I really like that. Can't see them. And that tree was the young linden, if you missed that. So this time in New Chirp City is a relatively quiet one, but no less important than any of the other installments, and you can find all of those on the Rolling Conley Twitch, and well, you can find the most recent ones there. You can find the full library on YouTube, and those first ones especially are really informative about how I like to do preventative care for my traffic and keep it pretty flowing. Let's see, what are we at now? 86%. That's generally where you top out at in vanilla. Obviously, we see our problem areas, but there's only so much we can do without mods and without being able to control which lane people go in. For example, this one, nobody's really riding in the left lane, but the tram is only in the right lane, so that's where the bulk of this problem is from. Not really sure how best to solve that yet, other than widening the road, but I don't really want to widen the road to that extent because it's so much larger. I mean, it's just gonna... I mean, it won't cause that many problems, but it's elaborate. It's a full project because of all the park gates and that subway station. But we're at pretty much a deadlock now, so I don't think we've got much choice. The only real choice we have is if we just move the tram stops to, I don't know, not be in the loop. Trams have to use it, but if we make our Sims walk back over here, then that's fine. I mean, otherwise we will have to run continue the line on down, and that might be an effective solution to turn out a tram line that fits behind the train station. We could do that if we wanted to keep that in integrity. No stops in the roundabout would be frustrating, but not unheard of. So we'll keep thinking on that. It is a pressing problem, though. What's also a pressing problem is the fact that this bus line is all one and it goes completely crazy. So I think we should try to keep this all in one. So rather than delete the line right off, I'm just going to try to match the places that I do like about it. And try to keep the general line so that our sims are not too disrupted by the service change, but we don't really lose. We can improve the speed of the buses, more efficient, better use of resources. Up here, and boom, we're done. So then we delete that, and we can't really delete the whole line, so we just have to go by. And the reason we're not deleting that whole line is so we're not erasing the whole of it, because we don't want to lose all of it. We just want to lose this big chunk of it. We want it to keep that top half, because that's not too bad of a bus line, but we don't need it to go to this train station and through the whole neighborhood. Originally, it was, I think this was one of our first bus routes that we created, which is why it's probably so crazy. You add on 1-2 bus stops here and there, and then next thing you know, it's taking up half the city. So it's a decent one now. Two main neighborhoods, some transit stops in between. Can't be too mad about that. Let's look now at this other one. This one is pretty huge also, but it kind of crosses itself a few times. So I'm not hating that so much. That one's pretty elaborate. But again, it circles back into itself a time or two. That's all industry. It's a solid line. And this new one we just made, just a simple little loop. Might add another one that goes a little more long ways between these. Maybe over here at Art Park, connect it. Our new business zones are not enjoying themselves yet, but they have to kind of get established in those neighborhoods for them to really take off. So now our thing is clear. Some of that might have been, yeah, we've got people going to, or they were going to the swim meet. So that explains why it's a little crazy over here. We've got cars spawning in, and the location of the meet is probably making it a little strange why there's cars spawning on the bridge. It seems like they don't really know how to get out. Oh, and we've got a baseball match going, game going too. So that's causing the biggest traffic issues. And some of that we can resolve. We talked about adding an intersection with the highway right there, so that could alleviate some of the pressure facing the neighborhood, and it won't all come from this one train station. That's the biggest risk. When you add more highway exits, you get more car traffic. Right now we've only got 4 highway connections, not counting the industry area because it's isolated. some of this traffic's stopping, and I guess it's, I don't know why it's stopping. Maybe the pedestrians crossing is making it do crazy stuff. I don't know why this bus didn't pull all the way in. So here we could, this could probably be stand to be reconfigured anyway, with the metro station being on this on the outside of the circle. Would probably be pretty advantageous to be more in the university and closer to the train station, but we could also dip it down, have a subway station on the side, and then move that over. Probably wouldn't hurt. See how much people do we get? 100 passengers, almost 100 there. And how about this subway stop? 300. It's pretty good. It's central to all those neighborhoods. I wonder how many this one gets. 50. But these are it takes a while for them to really get in full force. So let's play around with that. Not sure which one I want to use. I want to find a large metro terminal, large elevated station, small ground station, small terminal, modern metro terminal. It's kind of big. It would really suit it, this area more. It's very big for it to have only one. My main thing was trying to get the up here an extra rail line there, but we can keep it simple, I reckon. And mainly trying to do it with the railroads of Japan, but oh well. Might be a good place for a perpendicular one. You know, maybe in the future we want a line going a different direction. So we'll do that. We'll plan for the future there. And look, blends right in with the other buildings on that street. Good work. Okay, now I want to pause it so we minimize disruptions. I know it's not really realistic in that way, but I don't really care. And this one we'll keep it the two-seater, but why slope too steep? Ugh, the most annoying reason not to build something. Okay. Well, maybe there's another way. I don't really want two stops, so let's go back up to that tiny railroad of Japan. And you're giving me the same thing, but the parallel one didn't have a problem. Part of it is probably because we messed with the terrain for all these university buildings, but still very frustrating. Well, we'll leave that there for now, and if our foot traffic becomes a problem, we will cross that bridge when we get there. And now I want to take the line, add the stop, take the line, add the stop. And they're so happy, only for a moment. Probably just move the station to the neighborhood up there. Right there would be a fine spot. More medium ground. We'll keep thinking on that. Now let's go back to our tram line and make those adjustments. So we've got bicycle lanes and trees. No, we don't have bicycle lanes. You're right. Thank you. Tram tracks and trees. Tram tracks and trees. No bicycle lanes. And then we'll have a one-way sneaky here. I guess we could tunnel under. Now, I don't want you to intersect with that. Or maybe it's just doing that because the highway ramp. This is a weird way to try to do this, but we don't want a stoplight. Don't need it. Although the trees are going to cause a problem because of the way the tram will have to cross. But we'll see. It may not be that problematic. What do you mean the slope is too steep? Okay, gonna make that automatically step down a little bit softer. I don't know what the heck that is. Jeez. There we go. All right. Still pretty ugly. Still pretty ugly, but we can't control everything in this game as much as I wish we could. Once again, do not need that stoplight. How many times I gotta tell you? It's ugly, but it's probably better than going above ground and off to the side. Might be able to adjust that a little more later. Now I need to move the stops. So we're just going to go where we are having a problem. We're going to move the stop down to just right here. And that blue line's, that is a bus line. Okay. Wish it wouldn't show up. I wish it would hide the other modes when you're trying to make a line like this. And I guess that's it. The buses stop on the side. It's gonna be pretty tricky. The buses are gonna block traffic because, of course, they will. these people are leaving because they were going on the tram, I guess. This may not actually solve the problem we're hoping to solve. So if that proves to be the case, then I'll apologize for that in advance. Now people crossing the street is going to be the issue. So maybe we will have to change no trees. No real 4-lane options with it on the outside, huh? Could do a 6-lane. Shoot. Place. Whatever. Really don't want the bus line to be there, so I should have messed with it first. Move. So it'll just automatically place them in the spots I don't want them, but won't do it when I'm choosing to. Great. Another thing I would change about this game is being able to control the crosswalks. Because there are definitely times where I don't want my Sims to cross. Yet they do. The only cars that'll get in the bus lane are the ones turning, which doesn't help with the roundabout because they all want to turn. It's so frustrating. Well, hopefully that will help, and if not, we'll undo it all next time. And see all these people complaining about noise. Noise, noise, noise. Put your earmuffs on. Stop complaining. All they do is complain. Well, we've done pretty good. Got our historic train line running, if ever so slightly. It's a pretty neighborhood, I must say, with the pond and the trees and the paths and the housing and the temple. So next time we'll continue that neighborhood growth because our demand is still pretty high. We're still 1,500 short in terms of workers needed, but we're improving nonetheless. We'll probably build out some more on this neighborhood, which is leveling up continually. And we'll probably go more around the waterfront with our Seaside Resorts and hotels. Got some hotel options, which is where the lake park came from. You have to upgrade your hotels. And we've got airport options, but we've got a ways to go until we can really effectively use that. Still got a lot of growth to do for becoming a capital city, but we are a grand city, which is nothing to be upset about. Get some new assets there, but not too many. We basically got everything we need at this point. Still pretty helpful. We won't really know the full extent of our solving the traffic problem until we get the more games going on. But the last thing I'll do for you today is we will finally connect these roads. And to do this, we're going to have to edit the train line, because of course we will, just to go extendo patronum on the bridge. Bumpy road, but I'm not worried about it right now. Of course, it's right in between where I want to go. Come on, thank you. And down and here. Might be a good spot for it. We're free-handing these interchanges. Maybe we shouldn't have done that. There's no real option for a left turn unless we make them go around, which we probably should. I mean, it'll help with the easiest solution would be to hook around there, but that intersection's funky, so we just do that. And if they want to come from this side, they can go around this roundabout. And if they want to come from this side, they can go around this roundabout. And that's how you keep random traffic from going. If they really want to go somewhere that's faster, they will go. If they're going in, basically, if they're going in this neighborhood, they'll take that exit regardless. But the bulk of people will continue on to here where they need to go, is the theory. So we'll keep watching that and see how that develops next time. Do some more neighborhood planning and see what we can do about, we'll maybe expand some high density residential in the downtown, just because we do need to grow some. Well, I want to thank you for watching with me again. I'm Justin. This is the Roanly Conley Twitch stream, and we're wrapping up now. So be sure to follow if you're watching this on Twitch, and subscribe on YouTube later. Access the full archive there, as well as some of the other streams that I do for Red Dead Redemption 2, and coming very soon, in fact, maybe tomorrow, for the classic Battlefront for Star Wars is release date tomorrow, I believe. So I'll be doing that soon, as well as some old PlayStation 1 stuff, SmackDown 2, and maybe Spyro 2 as well. A lot of sequels, I'm realizing. But anyway, find me on Instagram at Roanly. That's R only C only. Got it? Good. We'll see you next time.